Here we go. My name's Aidan Nicholas and we've just come hot off the water here at Good Breeze. We've had both the integrated foil assist mast and the integrated e-foil mast out on the water today. As you can see, there's a little bit of swell behind us. We had some fun sessions, we've got a few people out, but we're just going to run through a few key points and what to notice and what to do if you are going to ride any of these setups. Firstly, we're probably on the smallest setup. We'll start with the e-foil mast. We're probably on the smallest setup that we'd be comfortable riding on this mast. I was on the 990 MA and I need a lot of speed to get that planing before I pop it up. So for me, I'm 190 pounds, 86 kgs, and you need a pretty decent foil. Even having this pod quite far down, it still does provide a lot of resistance at the bottom. Not as much with the cable smooth inside the mast, but it does mean you need a bigger foil. So an easy way to start, you can start with either the S1 series on the 1550, 1850, perfect learning, easy on the flat water, nice to get up. You can then even progress down to the 1390, which is still a super comfortable foil to ride on the e-foil assist. Another key point when mounting your e-foil mast, you want to mount it right at the back of the tracks. It has a lot more pushing from down here in comparison to up here, makes the nose of the board want to push up a lot quicker. So you put it a lot further back and you're never coming off that throttle while you're up. So having it a bit further back, you're giving yourself a bit more lift and the lift point doesn't really change once you get up. That's on that e-foil mast there. We use the 3-blade prop. It just gives a little bit more low end push and lets you get up a little bit easier. Then we jump over to the foil assist. Now, this mast has been a favorite of mine recently. I've been over in Europe, done some downwinding on it. I did a 30k downwind, a few laps over the last few weeks, and this is definitely an exciting setup to jump onto. The big thing, so we've gone with 185 millimeters down the mast. So 185 is the distance from here to here. It's 18.5 in centimeters, 185 millimeters. Just like we measure our mast 795, we've just kept the terminology the same. So on today, with the foil assist, you can ride a much smaller foil than you can with the e-foil. This is because once you're getting going, that assist pod is a lot higher, with it catches a bit of the turbulence that's coming off the bottom of the board and the pod, so it doesn't have as much drag as you're getting into a wave. So you can ride a smaller foil, get it up, pop up. I've been loving the 890, and then for solid days jumping on the 690 and pairing it with one bigger stabilizer than you would normally ride in the back. So if you're riding a 170, jump up to a 200. If you're riding a 130, jump up to a 170. It's just going to give you a little bit more pitch control as you pull on that trigger and get that acceleration. We'll show a close up shortly, but the mast has a bolt in it that connects it to the FOILDRIVE base unit. This makes it super easy, as you can see, to disattach from your board and keep the whole unit together. Whereas the previous mast, when you were setting up, you had to take this out and then be careful of the cable that's sitting on the back here, that you're not going to pull it or do anything like that. Easy as when I travel, once I'm done for the session, I take it off like this, and I have this pod sitting right here. I leave that on all the time, travel, fly with it. Then when I get to a spot, put it back on again, boom, we're ready to go, out to have a great session. Motor. I've been tending to use the 2-blade prop just because I like a little bit more speed, and it's got a little bit less drag when it hits on the props than it does with the 3-blade prop. So once I'm going, if I touch down, I don't feel as much with the 2-blade, but it doesn't give me as much low end push. So if you're really looking to get that power and acceleration to start with, go for the 3-blade. If you're comfortable, a lighter weight person, jump on the 2-blade, get that speed up, and then you can go faster once you're going with less resistance in the water. Where do I position my foil assist? For me personally, I tend to ride on a mid-length 65 litre. I ride my current mast at about 10, and with the foil assist pod in it, I push it so that you can just see the tracks behind the back of the motor unit. that's kind of a nice point for me. It's not too far forward. It gives me that kick, but then also once I'm up and not on the assist, it's fun to ride, easy to crank through the turns. Why does the motor pod go right to the front of the leading edge? Well, when it goes further forward to the leading edge, you get less torque through the mast. So as I'm taking off here, I'm gonna have less of this as it's brought closer, so the central force is not gonna torque as back. With the regular motors, it sits more back here. Therefore, when it goes to accelerate, it's gonna give a bigger lift like this. Bring it closer to the leading edge, allows for less difference between when you're standing regularly versus when you're accelerating and taking off. That's why it's sitting seamlessly into and right up to the leading edge of these masts. Integrated mast versus the standard one. Well, integrated, the cable goes internally through the mast, comes out here. It allows for a more seamless finish. The mast rides a lot smoother. And when the mast touches down, you have less drag and resistance straight on the pod. The other thing is, with the unit being inside and molded inside the unit, it allows you to get a stiffer connection, which gives you more thrust with less movement through plastic parts as it's sitting around the outside. It runs seamlessly and gives a little bit more direct power and force going forward. So, what's next? Head into your local retailer, go pick up one of these integrated masts, get out on the water, have fun, tag us in some content, and we look forward to seeing what you guys are going to do with these masts.
All right guys, Billy here with Good Breeze. I just got done riding the new Armstrong integrated performance mast for foil drive. I've been using it the last 2 days with this big hurricane swell that we had, and man, is this so much fun. I've been using the Armstrong mast, the regular pod, for a while now with my performance 795 mast, and it's felt pretty good, but this is definitely a game changer. Like the extra efficiency that it gives me is super noticeable, especially when you're riding and you're touching down, and you're coming down and the prop goes in the water. I don't even notice it. Unless I hit the actual foil drive unit itself, I can't even tell where I am on the mast. So that feels really, really, really good. I've been able to get up on a smaller foil too with the increased efficiency. So really, really amped on it. It's gonna be part of my quiver for sure. I'm gonna probably get a trench board. Today I was on the Cabrina Bump. It's a 34 liter, so still a pretty small board. I've been riding this the last few days, and it's enough to get me up, but I think having the foil drive integrated into the board, like one of the trench boards, is gonna be awesome. I got my eyes on a new North one coming out. They put this pod about 18 centimeters from the top of the mast, so it's a perfect positioning. And they're also going to have an e-foil version where it's going to be down low near the fuselage, so that'll be really good for anybody that just wants to kind of go out and cruise around on flat water. And honestly, I think you can ride waves with it under the water, kind of like the Lift X or something like that, because it's such a smooth and smaller profile in the water. So super amped. It is built on the 795 performance mast platform. It comes with extra bolts in the mast plate, and the hardware, which mounts the mast plate to the foil drive unit. That way, if you take off your 4 normal T-nut track nuts, you can pull it off. It'll stay attached to the foil drive unit, which makes it nice and easy. So yeah, these should be releasing soon. They're built on that 795 performance mast platform. I believe they're going to retail at $18.99, and I think really, really, really well worth it for anybody that foil drives often, or is also looking for an e-foil platform and you already have Armstrong stuff, or you're wanting to get Armstrong gear. I think this is going to be a great option. So come check it out. We're going to have them in stock, and let us know if you have any questions.
Bye.